The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Corvin of the Zenthari Empire rose from his crystalline seat. His 6 eyes gleamed with barely concealed contempt as he addressed the assembly. "The humans request admission to the council once more," he announced, his voice dripping with mockery. "How many centuries must pass before they understand their place?" Laughter rippled through the chamber. For a millennium, Earth had been the punchline of every galactic joke. The species that reached for the stars with chemical rockets. The civilization that still fought among themselves over invisible lines on a single planet. The fools who had missed the obvious signs of faster-than-light travel that every other species discovered within decades of leaving their homeworld. Commander Sarah Chen stood in the petitioner's circle, her uniform crisp despite the long journey from Earth. She had heard it all before. Every insult, every dismissive gesture, every patronizing smile. But today was different. Today she carried news that would silence them all. "Honored Council," she began, her voice steady. "We withdraw our petition for membership." The laughter stopped. Confusion replaced contempt on 1,000 alien faces. Corvin's mandibles clicked in irritation. "You waste our time with games, human?" "No game," Sarah replied. "We simply no longer require what you offer." High Chancellor Vex of the Morphid Collective leaned forward, her translucent form shimmering. "You cannot survive without council protection. The Void Reapers will devour your system within a standard cycle. We have monitored their fleet movements." "They come for Earth," Sarah smiled. It was not a pleasant expression. "Let them come." The chamber erupted in chaos. The Void Reapers had extinguished 17 civilizations in the past century alone. They were the reason the Galactic Council existed, the threat that forced cooperation among species that otherwise despised each other, and this human spoke of them with casual defiance. "You court extinction," Corvin hissed. "Your primitive weapons cannot scratch their hull plating. We have the records of your military capabilities, kinetic projectiles and fusion warheads, the technology of children." "You are correct," Sarah acknowledged. "Those records are accurate. For the past 1,000 years, while you laughed at us, while you denied us the knowledge to advance, while you left us to struggle alone, we developed those primitive weapons." She tapped her wrist console. A holographic display materialized above the chamber floor. "But you forgot something about humans, Honored Council. We are very, very good at killing things." The display showed footage from Earth's orbital defense platforms, not the clunky satellites the Council had observed, but sleek weapons arrays that made even the war-hardened delegates gasp. "Project Mjolnir," Sarah continued. "Railguns capable of accelerating projectiles to 0.97 light speed. Each round carries the kinetic energy of a small star going supernova." The image shifted, showing vast orbital shipyards hidden behind the dark side of Luna. The Shadow Fleet. 200 dreadnoughts, each one designed by military minds that spent 10,000 years perfecting the art of war on a single planet. "We learned from every conflict, every battle, every drop of blood spilled on our soil." Corvin's confidence wavered. "Impossible. We would have detected such construction." "You saw what we wanted you to see," Sarah said coldly. "While you mocked us for our radio telescopes, we developed quantum entanglement communication. While you laughed at our chemical rockets, we built gravity drives in secret. And while you dismissed us as primitive warmongers, we studied every battle the Void Reapers ever fought." High Chancellor Vex's form darkened. "You would face them alone?" "Madness. Not alone." Sarah's smile widened. "The Void Reapers entered Sol System 16 hours ago. They brought 400 vessels, their largest invasion force ever assembled." The council chamber fell deathly quiet. "They brought 400, Sarah repeated. "We counted 473 debris fields 3 hours later." The hologram changed again, showing footage of the battle. Human warships moved with impossible precision, their weapons cutting through Reaper armor like paper. Fighters swarmed in coordinated patterns that no other species had achieved. And leading them all was the UESS Indomitable, a dreadnought that dwarfed anything the Council had ever constructed. "We did not just defeat them," Sarah said quietly. "We annihilated them. Not a single Reaper vessel escaped, and we did it without losing a single ship." The implications crashed over the Council like a tidal wave. Humanity, the species they had mocked and dismissed, had just accomplished what the entire Galactic Council could not. They had not merely survived an encounter with the Void Reapers. They had erased them. Corvin slumped in his seat, his earlier arrogance evaporated. "What do you want?" Sarah's expression hardened. "For 1,000 years you denied us knowledge. You watched us struggle. You laughed as we fumbled in the dark. You offered nothing when we needed help, only scorn when we asked for guidance. She turned, preparing to leave the chamber. Now the Void Reapers are gone. The galaxy's greatest threat, eliminated by the species you considered primitive. So I ask you, Honored Council, what can you possibly offer us now? The silence that followed was absolute. Every delegate understood the shift that had just occurred. For a millennium, they had feared the Reapers. Now they remembered something far more terrifying. They remembered why evolution favored predators. They remembered why Earth's history was written in blood. They remembered that humans were not the prey species that reached for the stars. Humans were the apex predators who had finally left their cage, and the galaxy would never forget again.